Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Butterflies in my stomach, butterflies in my chest. Heartbeat like a bird that's humming. Trust your words cause you know me best. Let's take a walk down a brick road. Click your heels and you'll be there. I want you, do you want me to? Once you hear the rhythm playing, promise you won't be complaining. I'll be here for it if it's for you. Once my body gets to swaying, promise you won't be complaining. And I'll be saying, yeah. Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Yeah. Beautiful girls are coming. Funny girls are real sweet. I don't say these words often. Loving you has left me weak. But let's take a walk down a brick road. Click your heels and we'll be there. I want you, do you want me to? Once you hear the rhythm playing, promise you won't be complaining. I'll be here for it if it's for you. Once my body gets to swaying, promise you won't be complaining. And I'll be saying, yeah, yeah. Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Oh, every heart in the world is looking for a partner. Many fish in the sea, but there's one I'm chasing after. I'm not afraid to tell the world who I choose. Baby, it's you. Oh, can I dance for you? Hey, would that be cool? Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? I don't get like this, but I kinda miss your attention. Did I mention? Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Can I dance for you? Would that be cool? Can I dance?
Good evening, good afternoon. Can you all hear me or no? Let me know because trying to set this thing up.
Butterflies in my stomach, butterflies in my chest. Heartbeat like a bird that's humming. Trust your words cause you know me.
Okay, I think you all can hear me. I don't know where my avatar is, but I'm here. Let me see if I can find my avatar. And well, you all see the title today. Hey Lakin, hey Diva, Ginger C. Let's talk with love. I'm here today to talk about when the toxic relationship is over, but it's actually a little more than that, than just specifically, when relationship is over. And this is pertaining to not just a relationship between a male and female, but it is also pertaining to any type of relationship, whether it's a, I don't know, sister, a mother, or a friend, just in general. And what I'm going to do is go over what some of the traits of a narcissist is first and foremost. Some of the things, um, some of the signs that you see when you're dealing with a narcissist or a toxic person. Um, Forgive me for a minute. Just give me a brief second, a little slightly unorganized, but I like to be specific when I give you all information. So I got a few papers rattling because can you all hear me? Can you hear me, guys? I got knocked off by a phone call. Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. Sorry about that. Got a phone call. I just put my phone on do not disturb. So hopefully that won't happen again. I was about to go over some of just a few narcissistic traits. But maybe I won't because I want to go kind of precise instead of going off the top of my dome. Anyway, let's get to talking. Hello, everyone. Maritza, Wanda, and everybody else I spoke to. Lakin, Let's Talk Love, Diva, Ginger, and I think that's it for right now. Well, what I wanted to talk to it about is essentially when the it's centered around like towards the end or right at the end or after a toxic relationship is over. You go through a lot of changes. Number one, and the most profound thing that people go through is a smear campaign. And this smear campaign usually begins before the relationship is 100% over. But then again, with a narcissist, a relationship is never over in their mind. They always feel like you are you belong to them even when you've literally moved on with your life. A narcissist always feels like you belong with them. So they have a hard time letting you go. And when they can't control you, they try to control how other people see you. This is their tactic. Is sometimes it can be a get back. Sometimes they don't know what else to do because they've lost control. And these are people who had to deal with traumatic situations probably throughout their whole life, probably starting from childhood, most. And they have a hard time letting go. They have a hard time with rejection. They have a hard time hearing the word no. And immediately they will begin to say things or do things that can make you look pretty bad. I went through that. It's one of the hardest things to get through after the relationship is over. It happens to everyone, but sometimes it happens on a deeper level, depending on what type of toxic person or narcissist you have been involved with. Now, the first thing they want to do is damage your character, um, just make you look like the worst person in the world. I mean, I was crazy. I was um, manipulative. I was vindictive. I was everything they were. Um, Even down to sometimes calling your family, hey, she's not taking her medication, so she might be a little off. I think she may need some help, you know. I mean, just all types of things. That's just an example. Um, they will sometimes call your manager. I mean, they'll speak to your closest friend. They do whatever they can do to destroy you because in their mind, you have destroyed them. Once you decide to let go, you have become public enemy number one, and they will do whatever they have to do to destroy you because they feel they have been destroyed. Now, the way I remedied the situation is I let it go. As hard as it was for me to know that this man was calling me crazy, I mean, he even told folks I was trying to kill him, like literally unalive him. Um, what happened was we went to a gun store and we purchased a weapon, and um, he used that against me at the end of the relationship. They will go to, I mean, any means necessary to destroy you because at this point you have destroyed them. So everything is revenge, everything is get back, and they do it by any means necessary. Some of these people can come extremely dangerous to the point where they can unalive you. That's how angry they can get when it's over. Because once again, like I said, to them, you have destroyed them because you decided to move on with your life. They don't know how to control you anymore. So they want to control how other people see you by destroying your character and trying to tear down everything else that's connected to you. Because unbeknownst to you, who has a normal way of thinking, to the narcissist, you have destroyed them because you separated yourself. And that's just what it is. As far as a smear campaign, that's the number one thing you go through towards the end of a relationship with a toxic person, mainly a narcissist. They will try to destroy your whole character. I mean, they don't want you to succeed. um, it becomes a hate, a literal hate for you as a person, because you that destroyed that whole dream. You weren't supposed to do that. That wasn't a part of their game. That wasn't on their chessboard for you to just remove yourself from that whole game. And at this point, all gloves are off, and it'll come at you all types of ways. And another reason you can endure a smear campaign is simply because you may have purposely or inadvertently exposed them. They do not like exposure. As soon as they are exposed, number one, target, boom, they're after you. The main thing we have to do as individuals when we go through this smear campaign, have to try your best to cut it off, ignore, and understand that if you're a confident person, remind yourself of who you are, who you belong to, and what you stand for, and what your purpose is. Because if you constantly, I know for me, when I constantly listened or paid attention to what was happening or what was being said around me, I couldn't think of anything else except, oh my gosh, this person is feeling like this and or whatever. And it's all designed to destroy you mentally. It's to destroy you. And you have to try to keep that in mind when it comes to end of relationships. There is a smear campaign coming on. And if it's a female narcissist, it's 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse. They say that female narcissists are one of the worst narcissists. A lot of them are on the malignant scale. They're some of the worst. Let me read my chat real quick. I don't know where I stopped. Hey, Narc joined. Hi, Narc. How you doing? Looks like y'all speaking to everybody. Hey, Legend. Um, all right. Diva says she's working right now. I think she's listening. So if you don't hear from her, she's not ignoring you. She's just getting her little work on while she's listening, getting a little knowledge here as to some of the things that happen. Uh, Now we just talked about the smear campaign, and we talked about where it comes from, how um, and sometimes when the smear campaign happens, sometimes especially if a person is unaware that they are a narcissist or they have narcissistic traits, they won't understand that that they're actually smearing this person out of, I mean, they know what they're doing, because what I'm saying sounds kind of contradictory. They know what they're doing, um, but they don't realize it comes from a deep, dark, malicious place, um, because of hurt. Because, for instance, I was very hurt when the narcissist left, the aftermath. I was very hurt, but I didn't choose to um, tell everything he did to me, or how he made me feel, or how he is. I mean, I could go down a list of things he did, and I could have told everybody. But the problem, if I would have tried to tell everybody, is I would have endured a worse campaign, a worse one. Because the more you poke and poke at a narcissist, the more they're gonna come after you. It won't stop. So, and I learned this on my own before I even started studying. I learned it on my own just from what happened when I let it go. When I saw how I let it go and he left me alone. That was it. That was all. No more. It was took a few months and people started seeing who the truth teller was and who the liar was. For instance, a lot of times when these relationships end, you can kind of tell without words who the abuser or the toxic person was, because 9 times out of 10, they move on to the next person real quick, real quick. Like, for instance, the person I was with, I just recently found out less than a year after we separated. We were together for 10 years. Less than a year after we separated, he was married to somebody else. So they'll move on real quickly for two reasons. Number one, the narcissist, they really do have a place of, um, even though they can hide it very well, they do have insecurity, and they do kind of need a little bit of closure themselves, because they don't understand, as bad as this person is to you, they don't understand. They really don't understand why you left. They don't get it. So to fulfill that void that they have, they will quickly move on, and even marry the person. But when they marry the person, they're usually trying to get at you, trying to hurt you, because they keep up with your life. So because they keep up with your life, they think you are doing the same. Where I had moved on, I mean, and I literally hadn't heard anything about this guy I was with. I had heard nothing from April of 2021, the last time I saw him. I had heard nothing until a couple of months ago. I ran into somebody and the person just told me. And I said, you know what? I appreciate you giving me an update. I said, but I moved on. I wish him the best. Um, don't want any harm to come to him. But that's a chapter of my life that's done. And I said, I would appreciate if you just don't even tell him you saw me, because I don't want all of a sudden I get a weird phone call or whatever. And actually, a few weeks ago, I got a friend request from his aunt. And I've never been a friend of hers on Facebook the whole time I knew her. All of a sudden, after somebody asks me or telling me about them, I get a request. And I'm looking at it like, oh, this is right here. Um, that's what you call a hoovering. Hoovering is when they try to get back in. And I'm like, I bet you he won't know anything about my life. Never again, you know. But I veered off topic a little bit. But um that is a major thing that happens when the relationship is over. And let's talk about female narcissists. Let's talk about the signs of female narcissists because unfortunately, like I said before, um, there are a lot of content creators, and don't think I'm talking about specific people. I'm just speaking in general. There are a lot of uh, content creators, male or female, toxic, narcissistic people. They love hanging behind these keyboards, and the reason they feel so comfortable and they are drawn to a keyboard is because it feeds them supply. And I talked about supply a while ago. It's certain things that a narcissist needs in order to survive. The same way we need water and food to eat, they need this supply to survive. They need to manipulate, they need to hurt, they need all of this to survive. It, it it's just how that brain works. They have to have it. And they get behind these keyboards and you see all of this strange behavior, stuff that just doesn't feel normal to you. You can't figure out where it's coming from. A lot of times it's coming from a person who is narcissistic and they don't even have any idea they are narcissistic. They know that they're not a good person because anybody can tell when they're not a good person, but they don't know they could possibly be narcissistic. Um, but the thing about a female narcissist, female against female, they enjoy. I wish I could give a description, a real thorough description of how much they enjoy inflicting pain. They love to see you in pain. They're happy about it. They'll figure out a way to cause pain because you know why? They are in pain. Secretly, they are in pain. And if you have an aura or a personality that's bold and strong and you exude confidence, um, you're a likable person, and this person is not, and they know they're not. The reason how they even get friends is because they themselves are manipulative. They manipulate you into friendship. And the way you can tell that that friend was possibly narcissistic is because as soon as you let it go, oh, mask come off and you dealing with a demon. You had no idea this person was like this. Another thing is what I really just said. They quickly go from loving to hating. The drop of a dime. Boom, boom. They will go from love to hate. Yes, Wanda, it does, Miss Wanda. It happens on this app a lot. I see it, but I can't label somebody. I don't label people. I just see some of the, characteristics. They are extremely competitive. Now this can go for male and female, but the female is a little more pronounced, drastic than a male. And what I mean by that is female to female, and a male will be the same way to a male, but a female is going to be worse to a female because it's a woman. It's competition. They will put, my gosh, they will pick friends against each other. They weasel their way in however they can. They see a friendship and actually they sit on the outside and they hate it because it's a genuine friendship, heartfelt. They despise it because they cannot get the same type of friendship. So they wiggle their way in and they figure out how can I destroy this? And they will destroy by any means necessary. They will do what you call triangulation. That's what pitting each other against is. They'll tell this your friend behind your back, oh, she said this or she did this. And then tell you, oh, they did this and they did. Telling both of y'all the same thing. They make you angry with each other. And then you just all of a sudden stop talking to one another. And that person is either smack dead in the middle of y'all or will go off with one or go off with the other. And the friendship that you thought you had, and it could have been a very good friendship, is over. They're extremely concerned with their appearance, the way they look. They got to have designer this, they got to have makeup on, they got to have their hair done, nails. I mean, they got to look like queen, whoever you want to call a queen. That's what they got to look like. They got to be the one when they walk in the door, everybody see them, everything dropping, boom, boom, dead. They the bomb.com. Ain't nobody else around. It's me. Very uh stuck on their appearance. Very stuck. And they like to, or they call themselves hanging around people that literally look worse than they look because they want to look the best. They're very materialistic. Very, very materialistic. Gotta have the best car, the nicest house. And once again, I talked about the designer clothes, just materialistic. Even if they can't afford it, they can figure out how to get it. Um, they disregard your boundaries. They don't care how you feel. They don't care what you feel like. I mean, what you say. I mean, you can say something as small as when you say you're sitting on a chair or something beside each other, and you feel like they might be getting a little bit close to your space. You know, it's your friend and all. You can say, "Hey, you scoot over a little bit. You my personal space a little bit. Give me a little space." Next thing you know, they creeping over there right by you, or they'll come sit straight beside your leg, touching your leg. Like, wait a minute, didn't I tell you all close up in my space? And guess what's happening? They're getting enjoyment, they're getting supply from you at that point because they know they've aggravated you and it's making them feel good. They'll, I ain't that serious. It ain't hurting me. Me touching your leg, that's not hurting. That's supply to them because they know you're getting angry. These people enjoy seeing you suffer. And the reason why they want to see people suffer is because they are suffering quietly. They don't want anybody to know they're suffering, but they will inflict pain any and everywhere they go. And they won't do it so that people will know it. They do it quietly. They do it in secret. I mean, something can happen. Like, I mean, say if um you get a bill, your utility bill, you look at it and all of a sudden it's $700 and your friend been staying with you. The girl that had this some on, I don't know, all the time, something to drive your bill up. You walk to, oh man, my bill so high this month. Oh, I don't know why your bill so high. They might be mad at you because you got a little extra money. Or they might have wanted to get some money from you. And you said, well, no, I can't lend it to you right now because I have so and so to do. So in that man, they're like, well, you know what? Since you got so and so to do, and you know I just told you I needed some money, and you got it right there in your hand, and you won't give it to me, oh, I'm gonna make you spend that money. You won't spend it on me, you will spend it on something else and figure out how you gonna pay whatever you have to pay. This is how malignant and malicious these people are. They can be that bad. They um they want you to treat them like they're the queen, like favorable treatment. They want everything to be in their favor. Um, they come first, essentially. Everything they say has to come first, their way or the highway. Now the thing is, you can't mix this thing up. It's well, I'm not gonna go there yet. I'm skipping ahead of myself. Let me get back to this. Okay, they're very jealous. Um, it's sometimes it's very obvious, and sometimes it's not. When it gets to a point that is very obvious, you have literally hurt every piece of ego that this person has, this narcissist has. You've hurt it. You've torn it to pieces when they are like visibly showing their jealousy. You've hurt them. You don't even realize you're hurting this person, but you have. They always place the blame somewhere else. Always place the blame somewhere else. You can clearly see what everybody can see what this person is doing except them. It's I'm laughing not because it's funny, it's sickening. It's sickening. These people, and you can see it. You can look at, I mean, okay, you came in your bedroom, you opened up the drawer to the dresser. You opened it. You just did that. Nobody's in the house but you and this other person. Okay? You go in your room and the person, you see your dresser open. Um, did you leave the dresser open? No. Um, maybe the dog did it. And I'm being a little extreme when I say the dog. But this is how what I'm trying to get over to you is the fact that they will blame everybody except themselves over something that doesn't even make sense. Now, why couldn't you just say, yeah, I forgot to shut the drawer? What you blaming somebody for? Oh my gosh, it's the weirdest thing. It really is. Um, every problem they have is everybody else's fault. And that's just the way it is. I mean, it's nothing, no way that can be changed because that's just how it is from my personal experience. Let me see. Just let chat real quick. Everybody's still speaking. Hey, blessings. How you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. And I think I caught up everybody else. The narcissist will never, Never, bolded, capitalized, underscored, apologize. Never, ever. I don't care if they did something wrong. They see it and the whole world saw it. They will not apologize. They will blame, 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 and never. I don't care what it is. You were not here. I'm sorry. They will figure out how to say those words, but they're not going to say, I'm sorry or I apologize. And if they do, it's fake. And you can tell it's a fake apology. They do not apologize. If you hear somebody say to you, um, if I made you feel this way, I'm sorry. That's not an apology. Because if this person came to you and told you this is how you made me feel, then that's what you did. It's not if I did it. Because when you say if I did this, you're trying to cast doubt on that person's feeling, on that person's statement. So no, if when you hear that, that's not an apology. Don't take it as an apology because it's not. It's manipulative. Something to make you feel like they apologize. So later on, if all of a sudden maybe you in a heated argument or you just talking, you say, well, you never apologized. Well, yes, I did. You remember when I apologized to you? Oh, they want to make sure you heard them say, I'm sorry. But you got to listen to how they say it because they're the most manipulative people on the planet. Okay. They also appear unstable. And I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. Um, they may not be able to keep housing. They may have some type of addiction. They may go through a lot of boyfriends, or um, and this goes for men too. There's no stability, constantly no money. Um, but not if you have like real reasons, but just this person is making $50,000 a year, but they have no money. Something is being done very irresponsibly for you not to be able to pay your rent, um, and just life bills if you are making a decent salary and you cannot do it. They're very unstable, very. Um, and Lord have mercy, don't do this. It's a shame, but sometimes you have to figure out how to say things. And if you're around a person and they're making you feel like you have to figure out how to say it, like you have to walk on pins and needles to make sure you're not saying the wrong thing, because this person will take that thing and flip it. Or, I mean, if you say, "Hey, I like your shoes," um, yeah, but I like the gray ones better. You're not trying to be mean or, disrespectful. Oh, don't do that. What, you don't like my shoes? What's wrong with gray? Why they gotta be gray? What's wrong with red? I like red. You try to tell me you don't like my oh my gosh, it will turn a mountain all of a molehill. One little small statement. Or shucks, I can remember when I was with who I was with. Um, it was a messy. I can't remember what it was, but it was a dish during Thanksgiving, and I had just got some new chairs. The cushion on the chair was white, and I just put a towel right there before he sat down to eat. Oh my gosh, the end of the world. I started World War III up in there over a towel. I didn't mean any harm. I laid it on everybody's chair. But when I laid it on his, oh my goodness. You do something and it seemed like it's wrong, that's it. That's all. Nothing else to it. You created a serious issue because they feel like you've done something to them when you really didn't. But that's that paranoia. Okay? Oh, have mercy. Now, this is a lot of us are probably gonna be able to relate to this. They show off on social media. Show off. They got to be there. They got to get as many followers as they can. You might see them constantly coming on. This don't apply to everybody. I don't, because I just don't, I'm not trying to talk about everybody. I'm talking specifically about narcissism now. I'm talking about a whole lot of different signs. And most people need to have all of these signs for you to try to go ahead and associate them with toxic or narcissistic, because all of us have some of these traits. I mean, you don't have to be narcissistic because you're doing some of these things. But if you got a lot of them in one little bowl, you might have a problem. So I just wanted to clear that up, because don't walk around and say, "Hey, he must be a narcissist because of this," or blah blah blah. No, we don't want to do that. But they love social media, and right now I'm talking about a female narcissist. These are things we've been talking about. They love to talk about themselves. Everything is about them. I this, me this. Um, because I don't like, they can be just talking about stuff, because I'm just not that type of person. Or I don't do this and I don't do that. Um, you know, it's always I. You're going to constantly hear I while they talking. It'll seem like they're talking about a general thing, but then all of a sudden that I'll creep in, or me or my. And we already know that they don't have empathy. Um, they'll show a form of empathy. It's almost like when we talked about the dark empath, how the dark empath can um, they have like a understanding of what empathy is, but they are genuinely not empathetic. They don't care about what happens to you. They don't care about what happens to nobody. They don't care about what happens to anybody except them. They don't even care about their children. They put on an appearance as if they do, but they don't care. They really don't. I mean, you just got to look at the little small things and you'll see that this person does not care about anyone but themselves. And sometimes it's obvious, and sometimes you got to just look at the little small thing. Oh my gosh, this person, you got to look at it sometimes. They will punish you. I talked about that a little earlier. If you do something, it goes back with that thing. Like, say, for instance, I was talking about the shoes a minute ago. They had on a red pair, and you said you like the gray, and they feel like you. I mean, you hurt their ego when you basically told them that you don't like red shoes. But that's really not what you were saying. You were just saying you like the gray, not that you didn't like the red. You prefer gray for you. That's all you were saying. Now they got to punish you. It could be immediate or it could be later. Um, Weeks, months can go by before you get the wrath um, from them for something you did and you had no idea you did it. And that usually comes from a covert narcissist. You know, the ones that hide it, act like they are loved and very social with everyone else. But deep down inside, they're this evil, malicious person, and it never fully comes out, or it comes out through flying monkey. And let me clarify this term because I don't want nobody thinking calling people monkeys. There's a term called flying monkey, and what it is it represents people that the narcissist will recruit to do their dirty work. It came from the Wizard of Oz. How every time the witch, the wicked witch, told her monkeys to go out and do whatever they needed to do to bring back information or to harm Dorothy or the Tin Man and everybody else, they would do it with no problem. So that's where that term came from. Is that? Um, but they punish you. They will punish you. Um, they have absolutely no courtesy, none. Um, I mean, it's all tied up in their lack of empathy and control. They don't care. They just don't care. Um, you I don't know how to explain it except they don't care. It's so complex. The reason why I keep saying I don't know how to explain it. Because if you could get into it's hard for a person who is not narcissistic to understand a person who can literally not care about anything except them. And so I get kind of like taken aback when I'm talking about it or reading about it myself that there are actually people out here like they don't care. I mean, you can fall on the ground. If you messed up something that belonged to them, they'll leave you on the ground because you messed up their property. It's, it's very complex. Very, very, very. Okay, Nog, I'm sorry you have to go. We'll get back on here again and do another live. Um, so those are a few things about the um female narcissist. I'm gonna read a few more, and they take more than they give. They are drama queen. They're control freaks. They love to manipulate. They're unfaithful in relationships. very exhausting to be around, and they think you're the one with the problem. And they also use guilt trips and shaming to manipulate you. They guilt trip you and shame you into doing a lot of things that you may not even want to do. But those are some traits of female narcissists. And yes, there are a lot of female narcissists as well as male narcissists on social media. Sometimes we get wrapped up in social media because we built relationships. Um, but we have to be aware that we really don't know who is behind the keyboards. We don't know. And eventually we'll see some things, and sometimes we don't understand what we're seeing. But these people are out here. Just like I said before, if you biblically want to know what a narc is, 2 Timothy chapter 3 describes what a narcissist and who a narcissist is. So I don't know. I guess that's what I really had to talk about. And what I'm going to do now is drop my link just in case anybody wanted to come up. I don't know, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to hit this. And if you had any questions or if you wanted to say anything. So I'm dropping the link real quick. Okay. Yeah, so we just have to be careful out here on these streets. Just in life, period. Sometimes we have close family. I might be describing people's family members, a family member that you couldn't understand. Um, you may see a lot of these characteristics in that person, and they could very well be toxic. Well, we know they're toxic, but we may not know what type of person this is. Somebody who nobody really, you have a family function and you just wish this person won't show up because you don't want to have to deal with this person. Um, but it's something that if if you don't know the signs, just follow your instincts or use your discernment. Because you can tell something's not right, and if you feel like it's not right, just pay attention to it. Just pay attention. But when you get to a point where you're being smeared, and you see it happening, because when I was going through, I don't know if y'all remember that live I did back in the earlier part of this year, when I was undergoing the smear campaign. It's very it's painful, it's hurtful. But you can't figure out why a person, especially if you don't do it, you can't figure out why another person would, why they can't just move on and let everything just be quiet and just peacefully move forward, is what I couldn't understand. And because I don't have that type of personality, it was hard for me to get. But I also understood that I needed to defend my character. But after I said what I said, that was it. It's over. Because you know why? Eventually the truth will be known. The person that's throwing jabs at you, throwing those darts or whatever you want to call spears or whatever you want to call it at you, shooting bullets at you, that's the person that's going to eventually get exposed. That's the one that's going to get exposed. Anybody have any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all listening to me. I guess I got all y'all ears listening, huh? Anything else y'all want me to elaborate on? Because I think that's all I got for y'all tonight. Took me a while to come on, but it just dropped in my spirit. undergoing a smear campaign is a very, very difficult thing. Um, it is difficult. It makes you question yourself. And honestly, that is the goal of the uh, abuser or toxic person. It is to drive you crazy because they are privately going crazy. Um, Separating yourself from these people, simply just separating yourself, can cause a ripple effect. You're comfortable, you're moving on, you're doing what you do, everything is good to you. You just trying to get over what you went through and move on with your life, but you have a person who's going to always be trying to get back at you because they feel like you tortured, feel like that you buried them 6 feet under, when all you did was just pick up and move on with your own life. So my reputation had to speak for itself. I mean, everybody he told I was this, I was that, I was the other. They see that wasn't me. So then he became the question. Because guess what? When they move on to the next one, they're going to do the same thing that they did to you. And then when they move on from that one, they're going to do the same thing to the next one. But you got to understand, some of this stuff is some things happen are natural, but you can tell when it's malicious. So you may say, okay, well, this person did that or this one did this. And that doesn't mean that they are narcissistic because you see one characteristic. Just remember that. How did you get rid of the energy? Nitty gritty. What energy? Tell me what energy you talking about. Give me be a little bit more specific for me. If you did, oh, I'm sorry. How do you get rid of the energy? But first and foremost, you got to make sure the person you're dealing with is a narcissist. Bad things happen in relationships, but you cannot put a label on a person. Um, this is why you hear me keep saying, make sure this person is a narcissist before it's a label. Um, Everybody's not a narcissist. Bad things happen. Nobody's perfect. Some things happen that the next one won't like. Um, I'm trying to figure out. I don't see. You didn't tell me what the energy you're talking about is. So, does anybody? Can anybody tell me what you think he mean by that question? Because I'm not understanding it. How did I get rid of the energy? Hmm. I just advise anybody that's going through a smear campaign, and people out here know when they're smearing somebody. They know it. They may act like they have absolutely no clue, but they know when they're smearing. Um, the way I get rid of somebody smearing me, if that's what you mean, I leave them alone. That's how I get rid of the energy. I cut that whole person off. And there's nothing wrong with cutting somebody off if it's for your peace. Everybody's not for everybody. Sometimes you find out after you, I mean, it's like a relationship. I mean, I can think of many relationships I got in with people, and after I was there for a while, I realized, well, this ain't for me. Um, it's a lot of stuff that can happen in relationships. I mean, it's been times when I've been in a relationship and something might happen and I just get turned totally off. And just that don't mean I'm narcissist if I let it go. I'm just courteous enough not to lead you on. It's just there's a lot of dynamics to relationships. Just negative energy, not necessarily narcissist energy, just dark energy. How do I get rid of it? Well, the main thing I do is I pray. That's how I get rid of dark energy. Now, from a spiritual perspective, I pray. As far as mentally, I get away from it. I physically remove myself. That's how I get rid of it. Well, folks, I guess I'm going to go ahead and end this live. I appreciate all of y'all for coming. I hope I gave y'all some good information. Hope we can come back soon and do some more of this talk. Understanding the mind of, this toxicity and also how to get out of it and how, it's a flip side. It's a better side. Once you get through it, it's a good side. But sometimes, we need some support when we're going through things and we have no idea what it is. Sometimes we need that support. What is this? How can I get through it? What's going to happen after I get through it? How did you get through it? The main thing going through a situation like that is you have to try not to put a blanket indictment on everybody. I know I'm still going through trying to figure out how not to place everybody in that basket because I had a bad experience with the last person I was with and giving people a chance. Understanding that everybody is not like what I dealt with. Everybody's not a demonic spirit walking around in human flesh. Understanding that just everybody's not like that. I don't care. I just happened to run across one. So, lovely people. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Real Spill, I think she has a live she's doing tonight. I don't know if all of y'all saw it on dating. How old was the youngest? How old was the youngest or the oldest person you've dated? Sounds like it's going to be a fun topic. She had a post on her community board. So she's supposed to be coming on in the next 30 minutes. And I want to go ahead and be ready for that. Since none of y'all have any questions or any input, I'm going to go ahead and end this live. And I appreciate everybody for joining. I know I haven't been here in a while. Had to move, working like a fool. I just happened to be off tonight. Actually, I was, I just said, let me just go ahead and go on tonight. I didn't see it too busy out here. And I appreciate all of y'all for still hanging in there with me, coming on back. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And we'll see each other next time.
You be thinking about me 24/7, 365 every day. More than I'm feeling, I can verify that. Check mark for whatever your wishes might commit. We can go to wherever, nothing really matters as long as we're together. Baby, you're the one. Baby, I promise that 널 지켜줄게. Yeah, I know you'll do the same thing. 달콤한 슬로우 말해줬으면 해. You're all that I crave.
disguise, yeah, I made you mine. Soon as I wake in the morning, forget all my problems. 햇살까지 따뜻해 너의 봄에 피곤한 하루 끝나고 내 팔을 뺄때 like the first time. 자꾸 설레 I'll be on repeat love at first sight. Focus on your eyes and your lips and your hips. Something about you really got me addicted. More than I feel and I can verify that. Check mark for whatever your wish is my command. We can go to wherever. Nothing really matters as long as we're together. Baby, you're the one. Baby, I promise that 널 지켜줄게. I know you'll do the same thing. 달콤한 입술로 말해줬으면 해. 말해줬으면 You're all that I'm craving. And I know what it takes. Give me all of this love, I won't let it go to waste. Even in the darkest nights, you are my guiding light. Right in darker days, you're all I crave. You're the one.